Hey guys, I'm Rick, and that is One Big Pile of Bricks, filming on location at Brickvention 2023 with our amazing guest, Fleur. Yay! How are you, Fleur?
I'm good, thanks, Rick. I'm excited to be at Brickvention.
Brickvention's amazing.
And I'm so excited to be chatting with you here.
Yeah, it's been a bit hard because you've been obviously your partner's in the military, so you're all over the place.
I am all over the place. Yep, I've lived in Canberra for the last year and I've kind of bounced around, and with COVID
Melbourne's better, right?
It's been hard. Melbourne is much better. I'm home. I'm home to stay now. So.
How have you found Lego Masters fame?
It's such a weird thing. You're not famous except to 8-year-old Lego Masters fans.
I call it a poor famous person. That's how I feel, because kids are like, wow, and you're like, I don't have the money that goes with that.
It's so true. You're like, you must have earned heaps of money, and earned nothing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You're paid your X amount a day, and that's it.
It costs me money.
That's exactly right.
But no, it's really lovely at exhibitions to see the reaction of kids, and a lot of young girls particularly will come up to me and be like, I build because of you, and I feel so honoured by that. It's really
that's
cool.
amazing.
Yeah.
Now, we have to touch on it. How did you find season 3 and everything that came with season 3?
That's a big question.
That is a big loaded question.
So season 3, the filming perspective of it was amazing. It was really intense and full on, and it was a big roller coaster for Sarah and I, obviously. When the season went to air, I imagine that's sort of what you're alluding to. It was challenging.
It was unfair.
It was hard. So we got brutalized on social media.
It was bad.
It was really bad. Hundreds of comments every episode. Lots of really awful DMs about our appearance, our builds, everything. It was really hard, and it's really shocked me. I wasn't prepared for it because it's not Married at First Sight.
No.
You know? So I was really shocked for it. And I found it really tough. I was really grateful coming and doing Bricksmith that we didn't have that. It was much, much better experience. But it did surprise me, and I found it harder than I expected. It kind of took the shine off a little bit.
It was not right. We did a post, as you're aware. We did a video.
You did.
Because it was getting to the point where I was getting upset, and I said to Caroline, what? The two, you were classed as the mums, because that's what they like to do. That that here's your category, you're the mums. But I didn't think that you needed to earn the right to be there. You were on there anyway.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, it's a strange one that as women, for some reason, you're treated and seen differently sometimes, and you have to do more to prove yourself. And we made no secret of being new to it. Sarah and I weren't hugely experienced, but we just got in and gave it a shot, and we backed each other and we supported each other, and we were kind to everyone. And I think that's why I found it hard and shocking that people were really awful, because we're just two people who are nice to people, and we never would show any vitriol. So it surprised me, and we never made any secret of our level of experience. We just did our best, and
you did a great job.
Yeah, and we were proud of it. So I think it was hard, but I would say that that's a vocal minority.
Yeah.
And in the public, the reaction's completely different. I've been so honoured and flattered by the love that I've had from people in person, but it's this small vocal minority, and you can't have a voice in it, and that's what's hard about it.
Yeah, it is.
Because at the time, it's just going to feed the fire to respond to it. But we were grateful for your post on it, because we didn't have a voice. And all the time I'm sitting there thinking, this is other parents and things saying this. It's not the example you want to set, So it was hard to not have a voice at the time.
I found it hard particularly because, obviously, unfortunately, my mum's passed away, and I was like, why? I couldn't understand why the hate was there.
Yeah.
So what I was doing is, when I would see the comments on our page, I would track who their parents were, and were screenshotting it and sending it to their schools and stuff. And a few of them got pulled up about it, because I was like, you can't.
Yeah.
It's a toy.
Look, I'm a pretty thick-skinned person. I am. It takes a lot to break me. I've had some big life experience. But what was hard for me was that my own mum saw it and was ringing me in tears saying, why are these people hating you? And I was like, I don't know, Mum. I don't know.
It was really sweet. Your mum sent us a really nice message to say, look, we really appreciate it. And I was it just makes sense to do it. It just, to me, it was oh, we need to do something. And I said to Caroline, we've got
Yeah.
quite a big audience space. If we can do it and get traction,
Yeah.
hopefully it will ease up a bit because, like, no one knows what's going on in everyone's head, right? And that kind of hate
No.
can lead to dangerous things.
It can. And that's why it was hard not to have a voice, because while I'm a strong person, not everyone is. And what if I'd been an 18-year-old?
Yeah.
And those comments had massively affected me and I'd gone and hurt myself. Like, that's terrifying. And this is a show that's all about fun and family and positive things and creativity. And it should celebrate the uniqueness and the difference and all of that. So it was very surprising that that happened. I was really shocked by it. But, you know, I still am so grateful for the experience. I learned
It's been an
something
amazing experience.
really
Like,
amazing.
and you got to be on like Brixmas.
I did. And
Sorry you didn't win,
oh, but you know,
but your teammate did. So
did.
like,
we were so stoked because we both won an episode and she won it and she deserved it, and it was such a cool experience. I think going back as well, having had another year of working and practicing, I felt way more comfortable building. I felt more sure of who I was as a builder than maybe when I did the season, and there was no pressure. You knew you weren't going to get eliminated. We're like, everyone makes the final.
And then you get the final. Like, it's that amazing thing, right?
It's so
It must be a
good.
good thing reaching the final and being like, wow.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
So with the being a mum, did you find it hard? Because Heston's quite young.
Yeah.
Like, did you find it hard going away and filming like season 3?
Yeah.
Because he was quite. Like
he was
he's
4.
7 now?
He was 4. He's 6 now.
6,
he was
yeah.
3.5 to 4 during filming, and I missed his birthday in filming.
Wow.
And it was really hard. Like, I remember the first week of filming, I actually got to send a photo of him, and he was in bed asleep at like 9, and I'm like, why is he asleep? And they pan out, he's got a broken arm.
Oh, wow.
Broke his arm, and I'm like, it's his mum, I wouldn't be there.
You're like, how did he?
I'm like, how did that happen? But it's yeah, as a parent, it's really hard to take that time away, and you feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
And I missed him a lot. It was definitely hard, but again, like, wouldn't change it. So
Well, you should be proud. He's an awesome kid.
thank you.
He's a good kid. I've met him a few times. He's a good kid. Like,
He's the light of my life, that boy.
I know Sarah struggled because Sarah's obviously got Luna, and she's really, really young. Like,
Yeah.
I know she found it incredibly hard because,
Yeah.
especially it was filmed during COVID times.
It was.
So, like, that was a weird time in itself.
Totally. The first month we weren't allowed to go home. Like,
Wow.
And
So
then
even though
after-
it was filmed in Melbourne back then?
even though
Yeah.
it was filmed in Melbourne, we were there, and we.
How cute are the kids? When they walk past, you're like waving at them stuff?
It's so nice, honestly. It's been like, it's overwhelming how many kids are just so gorgeous.
It's so cool because they're always like, oh my God, it's Fleur. Like, it's
yeah,
like,
it's so weird. I find that so weird.
yeah, it's Lego famous. That's what it is, right?
I know, except for my son. So Heston came to Brickvention yesterday, and I was like, oh, do you want to come and see my build? And he's like, I've seen your build, Mummy. What else is there?
Kids are the most brutally honest
ground
people.
You straight away.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just a roast dinner.
He's like, you're not famous.
You're
You're just
not.
mum.
You're just mum.
When's dinner? Like, that's sort of like,
Yeah, but he's the best, you know. He's really passionate about Lego. He's a pretty quirky kid, you know.
Yeah.
Sits on the spectrum somewhere, and Lego's been quite life-changing for him. So yeah, it's awesome.
but the people who are on the spectrum are the best creatives.
yeah,
Like,
I think
some of
we
the best
all sit
people I
there
know.
Somewhere. Yeah, totally.
You know, and it's all exciting. Look, people are exciting. They're like, oh my God, it's Fleur.
Don't. It's so weird.
So, with filming and being like not being able to go home for a month, what is that like?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
Because you were not that far from home.
No, I was like 45 minutes drive from home and wasn't allowed to go. And then Heston was able to come one night a week to visit me in the hotel. And then after that, I think I had one night at home.
Yeah.
But most of the time he would just come into me. They were very worried about it. When he broke his arm, they let me go home. But
Wow.
I had to do 2 COVID tests.
And the mask
isolate
and all that
for
stuff, right,
24
yeah.
hours before I was allowed to back in. So
Wow.
yeah.
So, with season 3 and the whole COVID situation, how did you find not being able to meet the people after the show? Because it was sort of no meet and greets.
It was sad because when you come to this, you see the impact that the show has on people.
Yeah.
And I think we kind of missed a lot of opportunity with that. Straight after our season, definitely. We really didn't get to do anything. So yeah, and even like everything was lockdowns. There was 1 week in June where Melbourne opened for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I remember.
And I went to High Point, and it was so crazy. I had literally hundreds of people stopping me, and I was like, oh, that's right. They've just seen you on TV, but because you hadn't been exposed to that, and it's a weird thing because people come up to you as if they know you.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, Fleur. And you're like thinking, your head's going, do I know them?
Well, because they've seen your whole life on TV, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, it was, but it's beautiful and lovely, but I think we did kind of miss a bit of an opportunity.
Yeah, it was a bit of a bummer because we went,
Yeah.
we obviously season 2, we just got to the finale, season 3, nobody.
Yeah.
Right, and then they moved it to Sydney.
We didn't even go to the finale.
No.
Sarah and we got one episode out from the finale, and we didn't go to the finale.
It was such a weird, like, you know, COVID's been weird. We all know it's been weird.
It has.
But you created a family effectively there, and you couldn't see them win.
Yeah. It was sad, actually, that part of it. We were gutted, and we understood why, because it was the interstate people, they couldn't get them in.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, if we can't have everyone, we won't have anyone. And we respect that and understand that. But it felt like just strange to not finish the chapter, you know, when we get so close. And I wanted to be there to support them and see what they built. But we watched the finale together when it aired, and that was really cool. So.
Were you able to all watch it together?
Yeah.
Because I think we were out of lockdown then, is that right?
Yeah, we were. So pretty much most of us were together in a bar and watched it in Melbourne. So that was cool.
So how do you feel overall with coming into the Lego community, basically being an unknown and now being this like famous person? It is.
I'm not
It's
famous.
Lego famous. Lego this
Lego
weekend,
famous.
you're famous. Everyone's like waving and like saying, "Oh, look, it's Fleur." Like, it must be such an odd experience.
It is. It's odd. It's odd because
see more kids. Look.
And it's odd because I admire all the builders in this room so much, and the level of builders is way above my ability as well. And so you kind of feel a little bit like a fraud sometimes.
Yeah.
You feel like you kind of like get this, like, people know who you are and know what you build and stuff, but you're not as good as these people who've done it for 20 years. It's just, but everyone in this community has been really welcoming to me, and that's been lovely and supportive, and yeah.
The Lego community, it's cute. It's so
I'm
cute.
sorry.
No, you can wave
The
till
whole
it's fun. Hello,
podcast
guys.
is
How are you?
gonna be
It's like the Melbourne community is one of the biggest in Australia. Obviously, every state has their own, Canberra and whatever, but like Melbourne's always had the biggest event.
Yeah.
And you know, like, how do you feel mixing and seeing all the other seasons here at the same time?
Oh my gosh, it is the best.
Is it like catching up with like brothers and sisters? You feel like, you know?
That's 100% it. We feel like a family, and it's weird that it doesn't matter what season you were on, because you've been through that pressure cooker of an environment. We feel like we all have this bond, this understanding. I adore everyone, like pretty much everyone. They're awesome people, and we just feel like it feels like friends that I've had for like 10, 20 years. Even though I've only met some of them really recently. It's really cool. So yeah, it's amazing. And Brickvention this year particularly, like last year was a very different atmosphere.
Yeah, it was a bit of a weird Brickvention last year. A bit smaller, different building.
COVID, all that stuff. This has just been such a vibe. Like, we had like 4,000 or 5,000 people through yesterday. How cool is that?
It's good for them to be back. Because I know last year hurt because you're not getting the 20,000 they used to, right?
Yeah.
And it's good to see her back in action and seeing there's heaps of people here.
Yeah.
Like, Dan might do some creative work later, and when I go heaps of people, he might pan over an amazing empty building, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Pressure's on you, Dan, now. So, with joining Lego Masters.
Hi.
Hey guys, how are you? It's cute, isn't it? It's so cute.
It's so
with
crazy.
You joining Lego Masters Season 3, you didn't know Sarah, that's correct.
I didn't, and so I was cast really late too.
Wow, were you like a last minute addition?
2 weeks before filming.
Whoa.
I think someone must have pulled out, and so I met Sarah on Zoom once, and then we met on the day of filming. Was our first day we met in person, and the geisha was the first time we'd built together.
Seriously?
Yeah.
One of the biggest builds on the show.
Like.
And just bang out on the gate.
It was like a dream, like, moment, because we what we said to each other when we met was like, we'll just make sure that we back each other no matter what. Like, whatever happens, whether they have a good day or bad day, let's just back each other. She's such an artistic, creative person. I'm so lucky. She's got such a great energy. She's so fun and supportive. And there were moments during the season that I honestly wouldn't have been able to do it without her. There was some real tough days, and she was my rock. And so to have that first episode where I was like, oh gosh, I'm so intimidated by all the builders in this room. We've never built together. What's going to happen? And when the geisha came together, it was probably the build that we're most proud of the whole season. It just worked, you know? It was just like a meeting of minds, and it was really strange how two people who haven't met could create this thing.
Yeah.
When we stood back, we were like, wow, how did that happen?
It's a pretty amazing build.
It's probably the build that people talk to me the most about.
Wow.
Like anytime, even today, like, and we're a couple of years on now, a couple of years, a little girl came up to me. She'd been 6, so she would have been 4. And she's like, I love your sushi and your geisha.
That's pretty cute.
I'm like, how amazing that you remember that. But I think it is a build that we are remembered for. And Sarah, the face that she did for that was so beautiful. And
Sarah's a very talented person. Obviously, we don't have our amazing painting behind us.
Oh, it's so good.
It's just like...
It's phenomenal.
Sarah is such a unique person in a good way.
Yeah.
That it's like forces you to push your barriers and break out and do things differently.
And I think we're both similar in that we're like, even if we are not sure how to do it, we're going to just give it our best shot.
Yeah.
And sometimes that really worked. And sometimes we had a big disaster in episode 7. But
is that the one with the sign?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't the greatest.
It's a good sign, though. It was amazing.
It's a good sign. But I mean,
what stayed up was good. And then, you know, like it happens, unfortunately.
It was a tough day at the office. But, but
that's putting it lightly.
It was. And it was terrible. You know, Brickman said to us, you know, stand next to your build, and we're like, which part, mate? It's all over the floor. Like,
yeah, because it's smashed everywhere.
That bit.
Yeah.
But, you know, the thing with that is it was an opportunity for Sarah and I to show, doesn't matter how far you fall, it's building yourself back up. And we didn't have the brick after that.
Yeah.
And we had to build better, and we got better because of that experience. And
how did you find using the brick?
yeah,
like, because it saved you. Like,
it saved us. We felt really bad about it.
Because you guys become like a family.
Yeah. And we knew that by using it, we were sending our friends home. Luckily, they came back and,
well,
you know,
they did, and then they did okay. So
and they did really well. But no, we felt really bad about it because we felt like we didn't deserve it because our build failed.
Yeah.
But that's the game, you know? And I mean, people particularly on social media then were awful. They were like, this is a crock, you know? And you're like, well, it's the game.
These little trolls that live in a dungeon.
We won it. Like, you know, that was
I just don't think they can comprehend how the show works. They don't understand that there's 100 hours of filming to make like 2 hours of television. Like, they don't understand everything that goes in.
And look, we were super lucky because we could have used it the episode before. We were really thinking about it. We knew we were going to be bottom 2 the episode before. And the episode before, what people probably don't know is Sarah in that episode saved me because that episode before, episode 6, one of my best friends died of an asthma attack.
I'm so sorry.
2 hours before I went on set. And
wow.
I got there and I said to Sarah, I don't know.
It's cute. They're like, oh, look, it's Fleur.
I don't know how I'm going to get through this.
Yeah.
And then episode 7, when the sign fell down, I'd gone to a funeral that week. We'd changed
That's
up the
really
schedule.
heavy to carry.
It's real heavy. Like, this was a friend who I'd known since high school, and she lived like 10 minutes down the road from me in Melbourne. And Sarah was like, she said to me that morning, if you can't do this and you want to go home and call it quits, I'm totally fine with that.
That's amazing.
Sarah was happy to give up the opportunity to win $100,000 to support the fact that it was super hard for me to be there that day.
I think that's true friendship.
It is. And honestly, I'm forever grateful for it. And we got through that episode by the skin of our teeth. We backed ourselves. We're like, we know we're going to be bottom 2, but we don't think we're going to go home. So we won't play the brick. And it was fate because we needed the brick.
Yeah.
In Ep7. So it's just funny how things work out. But, you know, when all that social media stuff, people have no idea that during that episode, I'm carrying this weight. All that couple of weeks, they've got no idea what goes on behind the closed doors of people's lives. You know, we all have stuff that we're going through.
I don't think people can process.
No.
Like, how damaging words are
No.
and how like dangerous it is?
No, they can't.
Because
They
you not only were you filming during lockdown, so you're carrying the weight of like lockdown.
Yeah.
And did it air during lockdown? I believe it was around lockdown time.
So
it's hard to tell. We're in lockdown a lot.
No, I know it for sure. They aired during lockdown. So lockdown started in March of 2020, and we filmed in October 2020. Yeah, so we were pretty much from when we filmed right through till it aired, lockdown the whole time. And I think we opened up maybe October, November after. Yeah. Crazy time.
It is crazy.
I mean, I'm grateful. I had Lego Masters during lockdown. It was a massive highlight of a really rubbish time.
Like at work, we were incredibly lucky. We could still work with each other and pack web orders and do stuff. You ordered a few times, so we're like...
I did.
You paid for this podcast setup, thank you. Like,
you're welcome. You're welcome.
You're keeping Dan and Jason employed, so
you're welcome.
That's just how it is.
No.
But it's one of those things, I think, too, that's the secret sauce, is that Lego...
I think Lego saved people.
Lego saved a lot of people. That's why they grew immensely, and that's why they were so big.
So many people have said to me while they've met me at expos, you guys got us through lockdown. Lego got us through lockdown.
It was incredibly hard. For like everybody.
Especially in Melbourne here.
Like, it's hard, you know, everyone, you're just complaining, but like, I have to have a hip replacement because they couldn't see me. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much damage that's been done.
Yeah.
Look at the kids, isn't it cute? They're like, oh my God, it's Fleur. Famous!
So Stop it.
So with going back to film Brickmas with Darren.
Yeah.
Like, I don't swing that the way, but he's a pretty man. Like, he's
beautiful
quite
man.
pretty. Like, Caroline was like, look how Fleur's touching his arm. Because you were like feeling his muscle. Like.
That guy is... Hi. That guy is built.
Oh, he is.
He's big. And he was like, he took off his jacket one day and I'm like, you can take your shirt off. That's fine. I'm a married woman, but you know,
you can always look. It's fine.
Australia needs to see it.
That's exactly.
Not long before he came and filmed, he'd done a men's magazine shoot for health, and that man is a work of art. But he's also the best guy.
I don't know if I want to have that on my Google search history, so it's fine. It's fine.
But he is so into it. He's so into building. He's so creative.
So going into it, did it bring back all the emotions of everything that happened during season 3 being back in the set?
It didn't actually. It was
weird.
I think because I knew that we were all going to make the final. I was
I think that's a sigh of relief. It's a weight off your shoulders.
It wasn't being judged. It was about fun. And and also, you know, going into Brickmas what the theme's going to be. So I'd practiced some stuff around Christmas and I was like, it's okay. Like, I actually feel like I was nervous and I wanted to do a good job. And that was really important to me. I shouldn't have had to prove myself, but I felt like I did, you know? Like, I felt like I didn't want anyone saying, oh, that's a boxy build or she did a bad job. I wanted to do the best build that I could do.
Did amazing.
Thank you.
I think it's hard. I think it's okay for people like me to be like, oh, you know, that's a terrible build, but I don't understand what goes on in the background.
Well, I think, mate, the major thing is building under a clock. Like, that's totally different than building at home. My build for Brickvention, I spent 40 hours
It's making me
on
hungry every time I walk past it.
You know, I spent 40 hours on it. And then on the show, you got 12 hours to do something that's bigger than that. And you're like, you know, it's hectic. So
they're all like, oh my God. So how have you found...
No, they're like, that's Rick James.
No.
Yeah.
Famous? No.
Lego famous.
Lego famous. Hashtag porn. No, it's fine. It's fine. So with overall, are you happy with the way you're portrayed on TV?
I am actually. Like, despite the attacks and stuff like that, doesn't matter because I was just me. I don't think they edited. There was nothing I said that was edited wrong. They didn't ask me.
You didn't say anything spicy, which is good.
No, but you know, we learned from Kale. Love you, Kale.
I wasn't going to bring that up, but you know.
We love you, Kale.
I'm trying to convince him to come on a podcast. Kale, please come on the podcast. It's fine.
He's lovely, but like what that did show you is that whatever that comes out of your mouth, they can use. So bless you, Kale.
Well, even Dan, we did a podcast with Dan from New Zealand, and he's like, I didn't want to pull a Kale. I was like, can you stop saying that? Like, I'm trying to convince him to come on the show. Like,
no, Kale's great.
Kale is an awesome human.
He's
a unique human, and you can, like, people love him.
And
it's just the way it
phenomenal
is.
Builder, amazing builder, really inspiring. But no, like I was aware when I was in the IVs, I was aware that anything you say can be used. So like, just be mindful of being kind. You know?
I'd be in so much trouble. We've got a really good editing team, so it's okay.
But I mean, I feel like I was just myself, you know, like, and the good and the bad. And when I was emotional, you saw it. When I was happy, you saw it. I was excited, you saw it. And I feel at my age, I'm 45, take me or leave me. If you liked me, that's great. And if you didn't, that's okay.
Well, I think that's a part of being mature.
Yeah.
Could have been childish and replied to everybody.
And you know, as well, for me, I went on it because I wanted to learn about Lego, and I'm really passionate about Lego. I didn't go on it to be famous. I don't care about that.
I think that's some of the issues with some other people that cunt the show. I think they're looking for something that's not there.
And it's not that kind of show. You're not going to go on and get 100,000 Instagram followers from doing
Could
Lego
do reenact
show.
like Married at First Sight and pour Lego on somebody.
It's just not. It's just, there's no OnlyFans market for Lego. It's not.
Wow. Hopefully not.
So I think you just go in and
not sponsored. Just want to.
It's not.
Fleur doesn't have one. I just want to say that. Well, it's fine.
I do not have OnlyFans. No one wants to see that.
Oh my God, it's Billsy. And there's Dan from New Zealand. Dan's a better builder than Billsy because he actually got further than Billsy, but that's fine.
Dan's such a great guy. It's been lovely meeting Dan this
Well, I just wanted to say a big thank you for taking the time out of Brickvention because I know everyone wants to meet you. Everyone's waving, but I want to say a big thanks. It's been a long time coming. It's been a bit hard because of everything, but we appreciate you joining us. I'll link all her socials. You can see her amazing builds and all that stuff.
Yeah, thanks,
Fleur. I appreciate it.
Thanks for being a great shop that I've spent lots of money at.
Yeah, that's the ad right there, Dan.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.